Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Victory at Sea Pacific as the United States Navy, episode number 3. We've only gone like a few days. I guess it's only been like 4 days since the beginning of this campaign. I imagine that things are going to speed up more as we get further on into the game. But right now it's kind of this exciting period where I'm still watching. I'm still like, look at that. From the very get-go, I wanted this to be a series where we could stop and smell the roses. And I have to say, the first 2 episodes I was a little bit nervous. I haven't yet seen the feedback from that. I haven't even yet released episode number 1. For those of you who know, for personal reasons, I have to do a little bit of recording ahead of time. I normally prefer to get the feedback like live, but it wasn't possible. It's not my current circumstances. So anyways, we're going to bring these dive bombers up to a dive bombing altitude. Let's actually switch to the first-person view for them, or third-person view, I guess. There's the drum. There is the somewhat already damaged convoy. And if we go to the drum, we know that... Oh, interesting. She's no longer able to see those cruisers. But they're actually nearby. So I wish I could undo what I just did. Get them to run deep, get the drum to run deep the moment I can. Yeah, she's getting pings that they're on this side of the island. There they are. So they are very, very close. Okay, and this is good. I don't think these cruisers... Well, she definitely noticed something. I don't even know what the best thing to do is, but drum will go back deep. Just turn. And hopefully she can get out of there on time. The light cruisers, I'm not sure they have the best sub-hunting equipment. And what's even better is we hold in our hands the key to victory. Let's put these guys into 2 groups of 3. Okay. Move. Move. Nope. Come back up. I'm ready for them. They're little quirks. I'm ready for them this time. You up to 36. Okay, good. So now we have 2 groups. 1 for each. One for the Tatsuta. And 1 for... the Tenryu. What? The Tenryu? Okay, I can't remember what ship we sank in the logs. Let's go to the logs. Tenryu. That's interesting. Okay, well, you know, let's go to Task Force 5. Okay, so come about. Great. So this is your captains actually do level up, and I figured the drum, since she's been launching torpedoes and hitting ships, she's actually gained one of her traits. This special action pushes the ship's rudders to maximum deflection. The captain orders his ship to turn hard to gain a position of advantage. For 20 seconds, for 20 seconds, the ship may turn twice as quickly. Okay, so that's an interesting trait. The place that we actually use that is, let me grab the drum. Here, this is our special actions. So we can see come about. He had one last time. I got one of my submarine captains to do run deep, or silent running, which was, you know, needless to say, very important for the survival of a submarine. Alright, so I actually want these to begin their attack runs. And since I want them more or less to attack... Well, no. Want them more or less to attack at the same time, so I'm going to have the ones in front attack the one which is further. So that means they should begin their dive runs about simultaneously, and that is the goal. So get that to turn that way. Here we go. And I don't think there's anything else we need to be watching right now, so let's just zoom in and watch the action. Japanese fleet approaching. Prepare to nose over. Beginning attack run. Not beginning attack run? Beginning attack run. We had one late on the dive. And look at that. Perfect synchronization. There comes the double A. Bombs away. We have both of them destroyed. Fantastic. Okay, just to be safe, let's return to... I actually have to give an order, but that's fine. They don't even need to return to height, but they're going to anyways. They'll both come home. And that is mission accomplished. So our first successful fleet destruction at the hands of our dive bombers. And that's exactly why I want to save them. That's exactly what I want to save them for. What the heck are you doing? Oh, I think this guy's going to go over and dive bomb, but I'm going to belay that order. So come up and then land. Okay, 1,000, that's good enough. Go ahead and land. Okay, good. So, and, you know, this is our next target, but we'll use the dive bombers for that. All right, very good. So, that was very successful. At the cost of only a few bombs. Did we even lose? We didn't even lose. That's fantastic. We didn't even lose a dive bomber. And that is... I think that's partly due to the fact that they were so synchronized. If you destroy one and the other ones, while the other ones are diving, the first one usually shoots at the first group of dive bombers while they're trying to... Well, they're very low altitude. They're easy targets. Okay, good. We have two groups of ASW bombers going to make life hell on these submarines. I guess that's the next interesting thing, and we can probably speed forward to that. How many do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, and I want one more. So we're almost up to the needed amount, and we have plenty of days to get that done. Keep moving you forward. And you know what? It's better to be prudent. How do we spot these? We spotted them with the drum. It would have been much better if we had spotted them with our our spotting aircraft. So let's be a little bit more diligent about that. Okay, that should be a good web in the direction we're going. Could always use the Grumman Wildcats for that as well. But the Grumman Wildcats have a much more important purpose should we encounter any kind of fighters or dive bombers, God forbid. That's when they're going to be needed. So... Oh, this is great. Actually, this group with the heavy cruisers, I mean, I don't really want the heavy cruisers involved in the anti-submarine conflict, but that's okay. Part of the goal was to make sure that we got rid of... You know what, I for some reason, I'm a little leery that there's submarines north. So I played this campaign once, and I just remember there were a lot of submarines around Hawaii, and historically I know that there were as well. Mostly just from the surprise attack, but... Huh. Let's take a look at the dive bomber range. We're just about within range. It'd be much better for me if these guys separated, if this combat was considered over, so that I could see the exact position of these ships. There would be just another circle on the map as we'd hope. So... Probably, well, they're probably close to the crosshairs of the drum. Okay, let's keep going. Nice to see them fanning out. Getting closer to this ASW encounter. That was the last known position. They're actually not even, we don't even know where they are now. Okay, let's go ahead and micromanage this. This should be some fun. Let's bring them all down. I don't know why they're not in formation. Look on the map. So the aircraft should be probably like right here. I imagine we'll see them on the map, at least briefly. They shouldn't be going that fast. I guess that we're not seeing them just because they've submerged. No sign of them. Oh, we got him. We got him. Okay, drop back down below 1,000. Okay. So let's take the non-injured one. That's the more important target, I believe. And you know what? Let's hit the deck. Okay, so we'll give individual orders here. Lead will take this one. Second will take this one. Third is just going to move this direction for now. I suspect there's a fourth. There she is. And you'll take that one. And we might as well get pretty much on top of the ground. Right, just fly right off the tarmac. It's not really tarmac here, but of course. We drop. I guess let's just go down right to 30. Are you dropping? I hear something. Got him. Got another one. Fantastic. Okay, now we're just waiting on our third one. Still has their ordnance? No. Oh, I see. 1, 2. Definitely got 2 kills. Okay, I think we only got 2 kills, but that's good. So let's rejoin formation. Yeah, there's 2 left. We have, this one was uninjured, and the 175 is not furtherly injured, but still limping along. Good, so this is fantastic. We have, I would still consider that a great success. What's better is the fact that we can also correctly lead our next pair of bombers. And you know, if they only take out one other sub, that's just, every sub that's eliminated just makes it even easier for these destroyers. I'm sure that I'm confident that they can take out 1 sub per. So I feel very comfortable already with 3 to 2, but 3 to 1 is an even better ratio, of course. So get these guys to go ahead and go home. Good. All right, that was good. We're not spotting any other fleets so far. Probably nearly in range to use our dive bombers, and it looks like we are. Just barely, though. Let's give them a little more time over target by closing the distance a little bit more. I really can't wait to get the Avengers. The Devastators are just garbage. I mean, torpedo bombers in general are not very good in this game. I think we have a problem here. I believe that these guys are not correctly going home. We don't need you to stay around. Thank you for your service. Go ahead and retire for the this trip. And now they're going back. Good. Very good. Success after success. I mean, I guess the original defeat was horrible at Pearl Harbor, I'm referring to. No fleets that we found. We lost a lot of battleships, but this has been a good... We've been fighting back well so far. A good response. If we have enough war bonds, the next thing I really would like to do is upgrade Johnston Island. I mean, maybe we should just upgrade Macon and Toll directly. It's considered mid-priority, very low stores, so we'll be bringing in some more. You know what? That's what seems to make sense, is to bring somebody down here to defend. And I think that these are exactly the right choice. The battleships, how far away are the battleships from being repaired? Yeah, good ways away. Only the Pennsylvania will be available. So we'll drop off the Clemson class and have the Indy join with the Portland and the other Gridley class. And we'll send those guys out. They'll steam very quickly. I love that we can see CTF Able, Carrier Task Force. And we'll also have, this will become, as soon as the Portland leaves, the SAG, Surface Action Group. I believe that's how they classify battleships versus carriers. Okay, so I think we're ready. I did want to give them a lot of time on target because I kind of micromanaged torpedo bombers. I don't think I've showcased this yet. Sorry. I mean, look at their fuel. They have plenty of fuel left. Can you guys reform? Good. And get back going this way. There they are. Okay, hit the deck. And there's our targets. Okay. You have the first one. You have the second one. Moving in on our target. Depth charges away. Got him. One down. And some misses on the second one. So we have one vessel which is already partially damaged. Just give these guys the order to land. Whoops. No, don't do it. Just go home. I don't know why they give you a land button separate from this, but that's fine. I think they are going to do the right thing. I think they're going home. Let's make sure that they are. Yeah, looks like they are. So this one group is certainly going to be enough. I mean, this one submarine is, I don't think, much of a threat to our 3 destroyers. Already partially damaged, which means I think any sort of depth charges at all will be able to end her existence. I mean, I could just play it safe. I think we have some other ASW back now. We have 1. We have 4 dive bombers. We have 6 dive bombers. You know what? Let's go ahead and exchange. Yeah, this just makes sense to me. Let's get another ASW. And now we can launch 2 more out. And the other ones will be back soon, so we'll have more ASW capability in case we spot another submarine group. We should be okay. Okay. I guess the next thing is we're going to get these dive bombers up. Certainly seems like that's the next agenda point on the agenda. So you're right at the top. That means they're probably further south. Can I see where they are? Yes. Okay, they are right next to this little land thing. Square. That's fine. I mean, considering they modeled the entire Pacific Ocean, I'm completely okay with a tile system. It's very fine. Completely fine. So they're right here, which means that they're even closer than I expected. Which means we're going to get our dive bombers out. That's good. I think that's about right. 3 coming back, 2 more coming back. Yeah. So we'll have more capability, ASW capability at Pearl Harbor very soon. We have enough war bonds for the final... How close is Task Force 3? So I do want to upgrade the Indianapolis. And how much time do we need? How much time do we have before we need to get the last one out? This one's still not ready for another 21 days. And again, it's only 13 days to build a Liberty. So we have 7 days, a whole week we can go. Yeah, let's not rush it. Let's save up those points for the Portland. I think she's only needs 45. But she'll probably be back faster than we'll have the war bonds available if we don't forego building the second Liberty ship right now. There's our group still taking off. Is that all of them? It is. And we'll have them keep closing. They're not. This is not much of a threat. Again, our Louisville has shells available, so we can just continue to sink whatever we don't sink with our aircraft. 21 torpedo bombers in the air. And I think we're going to need the Louisville as a follow-up. Torpedo bombing in this game is kind of a mess. I don't know. I mean, the torpedo bombers for the Americans in the beginning of the war were just terrible. Really, really high rate of attrition for any kind of mission. And very little effect. I think a lot of that was to do with the American torpedo. As I already mentioned, it was not a very good torpedo. But it was may have also had to do with other things. I'm not an expert. I know that the Japanese torpedo bombers were actually pretty effective. Well, we know that from Midway. Okay, so I probably should have, if I wanted to be very realistic, I probably should have a fighter escort available. But I'm gonna have to put a quick cut in the video here, or just in a moment. Yeah. So just come back and we'll actually finish the dive bombing run. Okay, well, off camera there, during that brief cut, we actually advanced 3 hours, but nothing happened. We're still en route with our torpedo bombers. I noticed that the drum, I didn't mean to actually run the game that long. It was actually because it was running at speed 1 for a while, unbeknownst to me. But nothing happened. It basically just advanced us forward a little bit, which is good. So I want to get the drum to move to surface, actually. Because right now we don't see anything. And I think it'd be better if we, well, can see what's going on. We're still tracking the submarine. It was almost a refresher for me because I had to take a pretty long cut in between the last section of video and this one. But we're still tracking on the one submersible. Not a big deal because we have ASW, further ASW going that way. Ooh, 4 fighters are chasing after 1 fighter from a ding. Interesting. I don't know how the British fighters fare against the Zeros this early in the war. I can tell you that our Wildcats historically did not do great against the Zeros. I think part of it was bad tactics. Part of it was also just that, oh my god, where are you guys going? Part of it was also that the Zero just was you basically had to use the Wildcat in a very specific manner to use it advantageously, and it was not the manner, it's not a natural manner It's basically a dive, shoot, and scoot type situation. Wow, these guys are actually really close. I was going to say the drum can go to the surface, but, you know, frankly, she cannot. And where the heck is... Well, you're still heading that way. Okay, so... I didn't think that they were that close. It's amazing. Not good. Nice that the land spotter happened to head in the same direction as our fleet. Helps cover our flank. Okay, so let's get to this dive bombing business. Now, the typical tactic of dive bombing in the war was this, I think it's called hammer and anvil. Essentially, when you're approaching a group of ships, or really you're targeting one ship, usually it's either a battleship or a carrier, were the priority targets. If you're approaching a ship to make a torpedo run, half of your formation splits up left, half splits right, and you come and launch torpedoes from both sides at the same time. That's the ideal. That's the hammer and anvil, as I think it's called, torpedo tactic. Normally, if you are only approaching basically the torpedo evasion protocol for ships at this point, I don't even know if it had such a fancy name, but basically what captains would do is turn their ship away from the oncoming torpedo bombers. And then when you finally got your ship running parallel, first of all, turning away, 1, buys you time, and 2, narrows your aspect, your like broadside profile for the torpedoes. And also, once you're moving away, once you kind of identify the path of the torpedoes, which are straight line runners, you can kind of navigate where you want to try to avoid the torpedoes. But if your torpedoes are coming from both sides, obviously it's impossible. So it nullifies the main tactic of torpedo evasion for the day. Yeah, we'll keep the drum definitely running under the surface. You guys actually keep going, because if I don't, I imagine the torpedo bomber success rate is not going to be amazing. So we'll want to have some other standby forces ready to assist. And probably what I'll end up doing is we have a few ships in the back which appear to be slowing down. It's very cool that this is the normal tactic is, okay, let's sink the ships that are in the rear going slowest. They're kind of like, this is the natural law, really. You see lions attack the slowest beast, the slowest elephant, or the one elephant who's not in the herd, or the wildebeest, or whatever. I mean, this is the typical thing is we're basically emulating nature by having a pack and having a pack of prey and a pack of predators. So if there's one lone straggler, that's obviously going to be the target, the easiest one to pick off. Otherwise, they can mutually defend each other, which is the whole reason for the formation to begin with. Now, this is a little crazy. I don't know what that guy's doing. I think that they're trying to change course, or they maybe have seen the drum, and that's causing some panic. It's going to make my dive bomber's task a little bit more difficult, but we also know that we have some heavy cruiser, the Louisville, coming behind us. I kind of want to just give this order for Louisville to steam ahead. Probably what we'll do after we attack Terroir is get Task Force 17. Famous Task Force 17. I mean, this is the task force that Yorktown, I think it was Yorktown and Saratoga, right, that were in the Battle of Coral Sea. I can't remember what the... No, it was Lexington. Was it Lexington and Yorktown? I think it was Lexington and Yorktown then. I honestly can't remember, though. Anyways, they've obviously changed course. We'll change course to match. And now let's start breaking our torpedo bombers down into individual formations. Just I find it easier to deal with them in this way. And I always think I'm going to be able to manipulate multiple at the same time. For the purposes of this video, I am not going to do that because we'll probably just see that I'm not that capable of a multitasker. It's always best to pick the outside one first. This is the same as natural law again. We're just gonna follow nature's law. Get these guys to just go way over here. And now let's see if we can successfully engage. It does look like they're attempting to go this way. I don't want to really come in until I'm making my final run to minimize the time on target. Time, like, at target, taking anti-aircraft fire. Let's go ahead and make our turn in. I think they've actually turned again. This guy's like a sitting duck, but it'll be a good practice shot for us. Okay. Let's slow down to 1. I might even slow down to 0.5 just for the final terminal run. There it is. And no, 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 God, what are you doing? Oh my God, what are you doing? All you're doing is exposing yourself to fire. I really wish they would listen to me. Holy cow, what the hell are you doing? I try to give them orders like really to move really far in the distance. Seems to help them listen. This is good. We'll just launch our torpedoes from a little bit farther, I guess. Okay, that's probably going to be a miss, but go ahead and leave and gain altitude right away. Gain altitude is not working. There it is, working now. And we'll just get these guys to land. Click, land. Alright, next. That is not probably going to hit, and now you're kind of seeing that this is the difficulty of doing torpedo dive bombing in this game. See if this is going to miss or hit. I think it would have already hit if it was. Yeah, this is a miss. And these torpedoes do not run very long. They do not have the range that I think in real life they did. So we cannot expect that that will fall through and hit someone else. So we lost one torpedo bomber. That's okay. I mean, I would say it's just acceptable losses. We're expecting to lose a whole bunch on this little thing. I probably, you know what I'll do is I'll send them in groups of 2 after this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'll send them in groups of 2 after these 2. So I get this guy preemptively to start heading this way. It's really hard to multitask, but we'll try to do it. Next bombing run, away. Looks pretty good. Oh, that ran actually far enough to possibly hit the next target, which is nice. Good, that's really good. Perfect. And drop. Good, perfect. Now get away. I can always pause if I want to be really good about, you know, not getting shot down and stuff. Okay, so let me get the next one lining up. She's already hit the deck, and let me get the next formation ready. So that was actually pretty effective. Maybe I can do this. Okay, you guys next. Hit the deck. No, no, both of you. Both of you. Hit the deck. Alright, we've sunk it. And 2 extra torpedoes going. One of them might even find its way. Hey, those are running seemingly longer than I remember that they do. I don't really want to engage this front group, although I probably should with the... yeah, okay, the last group, you guys are actually going to go over here. And I'll have 2 people deal with the lead, and 2 people deal with the other lead. But for now, let's crank up the speed again. We have some time, right? Yes. Uh-oh. Computer stopped for a second. Worried me. I'm gonna go for the Naguru Maru over here. This one might be hit by something. Actually, it's funny that it actually looks good. And yeah, the torpedo stopped running, so this one is not threatened. That one might get it. And launch. Launch, launch, launch. Woo. Keep going. You got that one right away. Okay, pause. Get these guys just to land. And move. Okay, so you guys are landing. Good, good. Land. 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 Now, this will be a little bit more challenging. And let's get the last group to come on in as well. Okay, here we go. Let's line up a little bit better. So by that I mean let's shift left a little. We did get the other one, the other transport with the second torpedo. I can see it was destroyed, so that's really nice. We got very lucky aiming for the first one and getting the second one as well. A 2-for-1. So I was not expecting that, definitely. Okay. So we'll do this turn kind of late, so I'll try to do the same thing. Okay, and launch. Well, that was not what I wanted exactly. Took some casualties there. Start climbing. We have one of these guys has torpedoes left. So you go home and you just, we're gonna launch kind of a, yeah, we got that one, okay, good. We're just gonna launch this from a distance. You guys are supposed to be hitting the deck. Good. Flying this way. Okay, we're just gonna launch this from a distance, as I said. What the hey diddle diddle you doing? Ah, you were just following my orders. That's fine. So we'll do a long range shot, see if we get lucky. Maybe not. Really hard to see with that glare. Let's see. Control click. Yeah, it works only in some very. Yeah, you have to be inside the cone, it looks like. Now you can gain altitude. We'll tell you to go home in a moment. Yep, survived. Nope, did not. It's fine. We're going to lose a couple, but as long as we get this front... He did launch his torpedo, by the way, so that's the good news. And I think we can line this up to get both at the same time. These guys have like some seriously amazing anti-aircraft fire. They're actually shooting down torpedo bombers. I think this is just too accurate. I would say that's true even about the American fleet. Oh, that torpedo is looking good. Let's just do a kind of general spread thing here. Oh, losing torpedo bombers. So, oh, we got him. Holy cow. Run and... Drop your darn torpedoes. Did they drop them? No. Why the hell are they not dropping them? Okay. Drop your torpedoes. Drop your torpedoes. Look it. Drop your torpedoes. No. I'm not clicking on you. I'm telling you to do something. Drop your torpedoes. We did it! For the love of God, we did it! Oh, you're at 30. God, son of a... Okay, I guess it didn't work. Whatever. Just... whatever. It's very difficult to get this to work, is the point. Very difficult. So it did not work. They're both out. They're not even climbing. I don't know why. See, it's just frustrating to deal with. Are we going to get any hits, though? I don't know. So let's just get all these guys to go home, if they aren't already. Land. Land. They're all landing. Good, good, good. So we took some casualties. We'll just let the Louisville finish off the rest of these. Looks like that ammunition ship is going to take one of these two as well. Oh my god, no, no, no. What, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell happened there? Oh my god, why are you doing that again? Okay. It's letting me do it now. I don't know why... What's going on there? But this is going to be good. Oh, wow, she's just still alive. Well, it's a total, you know, absolute chaos in here. hopefully I don't have to talk about the game mechanics. Hopefully we can just live in the moment. That's the goal as we get further into the game, is not to worry about the mechanics so much. Dive bombers are just kind of useless, though. I'm finding them like not very effective. Even using them like this, you can probably sink old battleships one at a time, but hey, you can use dive bombers in that case too. So almost, it seems like there's almost no downside to just swapping all your torpedo bombers out for dive bombers. And probably what we should be doing is attacking more at the extreme of the cone of range, but I'm a little surprised to see that a bunch of, at the beginning of the war, the Japanese cargo ships have this much air defense. It's a bit surprising to me, or at least it's not something I've read about, that aircraft were actually taken out by cargo ships. And maybe I'm just, I might not be aware of that. So the good news is either something else happened while I wasn't paying attention, or we received a lot of war bonds from actually taking out the members of the convoy. So we have enough money here to finally complete, plenty of time to spare, the last Liberty ship that I want for this. Now, you cannot add escorts to a fleet directly, which I find kind of a bummer. Be nice to just add, okay, here's one destroyer to watch over these if they're attacked by a submarine or something. All you need is probably 1 or 2 destroyers just to keep the submarines busy while the convoys begin to escape, while you buy time, etc. These guys are still going good. And I see that we're at the end of this video, so we'll probably call this to a close here. But so an attempt was made basically to torpedo dive bomb, to torpedo bomb. I'll never be able to say it. It's a torpedo bomber, but I can never. Yeah, and you can actually equip the Devastators with bombs with a single bomb. The damage. Let's see, I can actually showcase this. If I wanted to do bombing instead, I can choose like the Dauntless. This is only a dive bomber, but these, which are out, I can switch them to a bomber, but they're 4 to 24 damage with the torpedo, and they're only 4 flat damage with the bombs. And you can see that the bombs from the Dauntless are 3 to 18. So it's much better to use the torpedo bombers for torpedoes. They only have effectiveness of damage 4, which is still good. I mean, if you have like a weak ship, destroyers or something like that, like a straggling convoy like this is, it probably is better to send these Devastators out as bombers. They just do altitude bombing. They don't dive bomb. They just effectively level bomb. So it's a fine thing to do. You can do it if you want to like finish off a convoy, for example. Anyway, I'll wrap this video up here. A little disappointing. Sorry about that torpedo dive bombing. I cannot say it. Sorry about that torpedo bombing run. It's just terrible. This torpedo run. Whatever. I think we'll have better success. Hopefully better success in the future. I'll just have to be very particular about my torpedo targets. So, blah. Alright, well, we'll wrap this episode up here. Next episode, we can look forward to finally chasing down this one remaining sub. We still need to keep spreading out our wings around the Pearl Harbor to make sure there aren't any more enemy fleets. I don't want any of the convoys to be intercepted. There's plenty of convoys a lot to the north, plenty in between Pearl Harbor and the mainland. So we'll need to sweep for any remaining Japanese fleets. We have no idea where the main Japanese fleets are, and they have, I believe it's 6 carriers. And that's more than we have, even though we're building one more. And, you know, by the way, Task Force 3 has not yet reached home waters. We'll need that Indianapolis to quickly be turned around and sent off with the Portland so we can begin. Like, maybe we can even send that to Gilbert Island, to Tarawa, sorry, to finish our conquest of the Gilbert Islands. Because Task Force 17, I'm a little leery of having her out on her own. She's probably capable of running away, but the Louisville will slow her down. We need to get the correct fleet composition. So, plenty to think about, as you can see, but we'll pick that up in the next episode. So for now, thanks for watching, and take care.